Here we are, telling the only story that I had written down on my list that I did not want to tell. This one, I had no intentions on sharing with anybody online, on the internet, or anything. But you know what? I kind of came to it and was like, you know what? Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to know. It's just my voice. Who cares? Who gives a damn? Just pull your balls together, Mike, and tell the damn story. So that's what we're doing today. This is the time that I smoked weed for the first time. And not just the first time. I smoked weed for the first time twice in a row. You guys are probably wondering, how the heck do you smoke weed for the first time twice? That makes no sense. Well, this is going to be a two-part story. There's kind of two parts here. Both are separate times in my life. This is really going to show how dumb of a teenager I was. So, part one, let's dive into this. The first time that I thought I smoked weed, and I really didn't. All right. So, I think I was about the age of 15 or 16. And, we're going through that rebellious phase. We're going through that phase where music is really starting to hit. I'm starting to get into a lot of heavy metal, a lot of hard music, heavy music. And that's not the blame for my marijuana use in this video, okay? That's not the blame. But I did enjoy a lot of music back then, and it started getting more integrated and more interesting. And I started wanting to experience the use of marijuana. What would my body feel like? And it's something that I studied. I would go on YouTube and I would watch videos about the science of marijuana and what medical marijuana really is and how it could help you and all the benefits from it. I used to look up the lists online. So I did my research. I studied a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? I think I want to try this because I was always hesitant at this age of trying new things. I did not want to try some kind of quote-unquote drug. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it wasn't very appealing. It's not something that I really wanted to do. But after knowing that I had friends that used marijuana and seeing the videos on it and that they're opening up shops to help benefit people with medical problems, I'm like, well, it really can't be that bad. Because keep in mind, I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know at all what it was like. All right? I have no clue. So I had a friend at the time, and he was a little bit younger than me. He was really young. I think he was like 11 or 12 at this point, and I was like 15, 16. But he was a neighborhood friend. He lived on my street. I'm not going to say this kid's name. He's much older now. He's even taller than me now, because back then he was a lot shorter than me. Kid towers over me now. The dude towers over me now. Anyway, he had this uncle that he believed smoked marijuana. So he snuck into his uncle's room the one time and stole this baggie, all right, of what he thought was marijuana. All right, he stole this baggie, and he was lit about it. So he brought this baggie over to my house, and we were checking it out, man. We were looking at it. We were like, oh, this looks pretty cool. So that's what marijuana looks like. Because a little fun fact, I thought marijuana was a marijuana leaf. Like, whenever they told us, hey, don't smoke marijuana, and they would show us pictures in school and stuff, they would show a leaf. And that, to me, in my mind, I'm like, that's what you smoke, is the leaf. I'm an idiot. You guys do not smoke the leaf. There's a whole bud that grows off this plant. That is what you consume medically. Anyway, my friend brought this bag over, and we're checking it out. We're looking at it. We're like, yeah, this must be some good stuff. It smells kind of strong. And we were pretty lit about it, but I was nervous. We did not smoke it yet. We did not smoke it that day, I promise you. It stayed in my room for about a week, and for about a week I was very hesitant on smoking this. I was very nervous about it, and I would grab the bag and I would smell it for a little bit and sniff it and check it out. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be weed. Now, mind you, I've never seen weed before. I never saw it before this, okay? I'm here thinking it's some kind of green leaf, okay? So that's what my brain is doing to me. Anyway, this was not a green leaf that we consumed. I promise you that. He came over the one day, and he's like, are you ready? You want to do it? We can go out in the woods. He somehow managed to have some kind of blunt wrap. He got wraps, man. I don't know how he got them. I think he stole them from his uncle or his grandfather. And he took them anyway, brought them to my house, and we weren't ready to do this in my house. My parents were there. My mom and her ex-boyfriend. They were living in the house too. And I was very suspicious and very worrisome about them finding out that I consume this plant, that I'm going to smoke this. I'm like, they'll definitely smell it. So we went out into the woods. We took a trip into the woods, as I always did, because I loved venturing off into the woods. It was very peaceful to me. And we got pretty far in there, Eventually got to a spot where there was a clearing, and you can't even see the town. You can't see the lights, any buildings or anything. You're pretty good. You're pretty secluded. Nobody was around. So we opened up this baggie. We took out the contents of this baggie, right? And we put it into one of these wraps. And I didn't know what I was doing at the time. Neither did he. We didn't know how to wrap up a blunt. I mean, we were so young. So we kind of put it in there and just kind of tried folding it over. It was just terrible and like flat and just horrible. I could only imagine how bad it really must have looked to someone that actually smoked. Anyway, we began to smoke this thing, and we're coughing our freaking brains out left and right, blowing hits of smoke here. I'll take a couple puffs, give it to him. He'll take a few puffs, and we're just coughing and gagging and coughing and gagging and spitting, and it's a mess, man. We did not enjoy it at all. So we asked each other if like we were feeling anything. We did the whole, hey man, are you feeling something? Feeling anything? And I think we both kind of felt a little buzzed. We felt a little like out of it, but not like nothing serious. We just kind of figured maybe it wasn't all that strong. And the funny thing about this is that wasn't marijuana, guys. That wasn't that baggie. It was fucking pipe tobacco. It was a little baggie of pipe tobacco. And so we're sitting here smoking tobacco and a wrap that's made out of tobacco. So we're just consuming all of this nicotine and tobacco and coughing our brains out. We were so young, we didn't even realize what the hell we were doing. So we didn't even actually smoke weed. I didn't even actually smoke weed for the first time. It didn't even actually happen. That was tobacco the entire time. And I didn't know it. I'm surprised I didn't recognize the smell because I've always been around smokers. But I didn't know. I was like, hey, screw it, whatever. I didn't even think about that at the time. But yeah, we were smoking pipe tobacco. And that was the buzz. We had a little like nicotine buzz from it. I mean, we were young and our bodies never experienced that. So, of course, we were going to be feeling a little something, something. Now, fast forward to about maybe a year or two later in life, and this is my actual first time of consuming cannabis, smoking the devil's lettuce, hitting that reefer, whatever you want to call it. And this was Halloween of 2010, 2011, one of the two. I can't remember. And we were hanging out with some friends. We were walking around the town that I live in now, actually, because I still lived in this town back then. And we were walking around. People were walking around. It was Halloween. Kids were getting candy. And I think we were actually getting candy, too. But then we actually went into an alley. All right, there's a lot of alleys in my town. And we went into this one alley. The end of that alley is a convenience store. Don't need to say any more than that, but this alley is actually not too far from me. I can literally walk there right now. Anyway, one of the friends I was with had this joint that was rolled up into a gum wrapper. I think he had like one or two. And all I knew at the time is that he had like a few different strains, different types of marijuana mixed together into that joint. And he was going on and on about how cool it was going to be and how fucked up I'm going to get. He was like, I have like 2 or 3 different strains in here. You're really going to be feeling it. This is going to be great. He was lit about getting me high for the first time. And there was several of us in this area. I think everybody else there had smoked weed before besides me. I was the lone wolf. I was the virgin to smoking. So they're all passing around this joint. I remember it. It was made out of a freaking gum wrapper. Mind you, we were young. We were teenagers. And everybody's passing it around. They're taking their hit. They're smoking. I go to take my hit. I take that hit. Very interesting to me. Very interesting. I'm like, wow, that tastes a lot different than the freaking tobacco, which, as we know now, I've tried before. I'm taking that hit. I exhale it. I'm like, wow, that is so cool. I pass it to the next person. And I'm sitting there waiting to feel something. Nothing's coming yet. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need a little bit more. Need a little bit more weed. I don't even think that joint made it a full round again to me because there were so many people. So one of the other kids that actually brought the weed, the guy that originally had multiple joints, and that was toking me up, he pulls out the other one. He's like, don't worry, guys. I've got another one for you. Because I think I'd only gotten like 1, maybe 2 hits at this point. I can't even remember. I don't even think it made a full rotation. Anyway, he throws that joint back into rotation. We start sparking it up. I take a hit off of it. I think I took 2 hits off it the second time around just to make sure I feel something. Because I wasn't sure if I was going to get it back around. It kept going around. It finally got back around to me. I think I was able to get 1 or 2 more hits. And then eventually we finish it off. We're kind of like looking around to see if we feel anything. I know some of the other people that I was with were actually feeling something. They were feeling chilled out. Their munchies started to kick in. However, for me, I didn't feel anything. I wasn't feeling nothing. I was pretty disappointed. I felt nothing. I'm looking around the town. I'm like, I feel normal. I'm a little tired, but I feel completely normal. And you know that saying, how it goes, the first time that you smoke weed, you're probably not going to feel anything. Well, unfortunately, knowing me and my bad luck, that is what happened to me. That is exactly what happened. I felt completely nothing. There was nothing going on in my head. There was no euphoria. I did not feel relaxed. We continued to walk around the town. I was trying to, like, wait for it to kick in. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe even up to an hour. We're still walking around town. It's Halloween night. People are walking around, giving out candy. I don't got no munchies. I don't feel good. And not as in I feel sick, but I don't feel like I'm high. You know, I don't feel that at all. And I'm just so devastated. I'm so disappointed. I'm like, how the fuck do I not feel anything? Like, I was actually angry about it. Like, I wanted to get stoned. I wanted to feel something. And I felt absolutely nothing. I was completely fucked over by cannabis. And at the time, I did not know, for a lot of people, you don't feel it for the first time. So, and you know what I mean? It just didn't happen to me. I was one of those guys. I was a late bloomer, okay? I was a late bloomer. That's kind of what happened here. And I was totally disappointed about it. I think I just ended up going home that night and just chilling out. But then I think shortly after, I ended up consuming again, and I totally felt it. I don't remember my second time smoking. It's like sex. You remember your first time, but you're not going to remember your second time. The same thing goes for cannabis. I could not remember the second time of me smoking, but I remember that I did smoke, enjoyed it, and felt it. And I kept finding new ways to get weed. Either it was through friends or stealing it off somebody or finding it anywhere that I could. I remember some crazy stuff. I'll have to tell more stories about this. But yeah, guys, that was the time, or the times, I smoked weed. The first time, thinking I actually was smoking some weed, and I was smoking tobacco. The second time, smoking weed and feeling absolutely nothing. So my actual starting experience with marijuana, I literally just felt nothing at all. I got nothing out of it. It was a bad experience. I'm just, like, devastated at that age that I went through that. Like, what the fuck? Why did I not get any luck with this? Why did I not feel anything? But I guess it was just my brain. And you know what? I eventually did end up smoking, enjoying it, really getting into it, and just realizing that it helped me feel better as a person. It helped my anxiety. At the time, it helped with the depression. But now I don't worry about depression. That's another video for another time. Anyway, it made everything enjoyable. It made music. It made writing music better. It made movies and TV shows better. Hanging out on YouTube better. Video games got better. Everything just got better. And funny enough, it started getting me sick. Started making me, like, trip out, basically. I'll tell that story in another video. Drop a like if you guys do want to see that video, because that's a whole crazy-ass story. A lot going on in that. And something was wrong with my body. I just don't know what, because weed should never make you trip, and it wasn't laced. Anyway, that's another story for another time. But yeah, after all that happened, I started consuming again throughout my 20s, and just made my life fucking fantastic, guys. I don't know. This is this time that I got high for the first time. Failed because it was tobacco. Second time, smoked again, and that failed too because I didn't even actually get high, but I was actually smoking weed the second time. So that's the story of that. That's what happened. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your first time smoking. I'm quite curious. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. My social media links, I'm going to be putting them down below. If you guys want to follow me on my socials, hit that subscribe button if you have yet to do so. And I shall see you guys again here soon. Peace.